UFC 197 is just wrapped up, and I'm joined by the boss, Dana White. Dana, let's go right into it. Jon Jones versus Ovince Preux. Jon Jones out for 15 months. Looks like he was out for 15 months in that performance. Talk to me about your thoughts.
Yeah, he was rusty tonight, and it's funny, for Jon, everything worked out for him, because if that was Cormier in there tonight, that would have been a rough night. But I say it all the time, ring rust is real. You take that time off, it happens.
Do you expect this performance was able to kind of get all of that out of his system, and now when he goes out there and fights Daniel Cormier, he'll be back to his old self?
Well, I'm also a believer in, he got 5 rounds under his belt. He was right in there. It's not like he was exhausted. He looked good in that respect. And he fought the number 6 guy in the world who hits hard, obviously has an unbelievable chin. And OSP's stock definitely goes up tonight, hanging in there with Jon Jones for 5 rounds. And he had a broken arm from what we're hearing in the 4th and 5th round. So he's tough, he's durable, and his stock went up tonight. But Jon Jones now gets to get back in the gym, knows where he's at, know what he needs to work on, and get himself right physically and mentally.
There was he was in a wheelchair. There were some rumors that maybe he hurt his foot, or maybe he was just limping. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sure he's a little banged up right now. And like you said, he's had 15 months off. I don't know if there's any injuries right now, but, other than he's banged up.
Somebody who walked away from the octagon scratch-free is Demetrious Johnson. Mm-hmm. He continues to impress, and he evolves his game when you just think it's already perfect. So with a guy like him who's run through the division but shows all this promise and is still so young, what do you, A, think of that performance against an Olympic gold medalist, and B, do with the guy then?
Right. He looked phenomenal tonight. Looked incredible. Such a super talent, and just keeps getting better and better. We're going to come up with something for Demetrious Johnson.
Excellent. And in that third fight on the pay-per-view card, we saw Anthony Pettis take on Edson Barboza. Edson just lit him up tonight, and especially that first and third round. Were you expecting it to go this way?
I thought it was going to be the fight of the night. It wasn't the fight of the night like I thought it would be, but 2 talented guys who fight pretty much the same and have the same weapons. And Barboza pulled the trigger tonight more than Anthony did.
What do you do with a guy like Anthony Pettis, who was a former champion, was still an incredibly talented fighter, but has just lost 3 in a row? Do you tell him he needs to reevaluate things? What do you do as his boss?
Well, he lost 3 in a row, 1 to the champion, other guys ranked in the top 10. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where he ends up in the rankings. We'll see what's next for him, and we'll go from there. And how about Yair Rodriguez tonight?
Absolutely incredible. That guy always impresses. He is so young, and he actually had a really difficult camp. Didn't really have a secure place to train. With a young talent like that, it is so marketable and bilingual. is that just something really exciting for the promotion?
It's awesome. He looked incredible tonight. He continues to evolve and look better. I'm really excited about his future. I'm a big fan of Whitaker, too.
Yeah.
Guy ate some nasty leg kicks tonight. I think we had 8 guys go to the hospital tonight, so that's how good the fights were.
Yeah, they were absolutely incredible. But I do need to ask you, are you kind of relieved this week's over? There was a lot going on.
No, you know what? Seriously, though, you guys, this is a typical week in the UFC. The difference is this was public. You saw it all played out in public. Usually this stuff doesn't play out in public. It plays out behind the scenes, but it is a typical week at the UFC.
Typical week at the UFC, but now we got a sneak peek into what this guy deals with every day. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. We appreciate it.